Today is the first day of the month, and also the first day of this month's theme, which is Marvel Comics. And to kick things off, we're looking at a team that many people nowadays mostly associate with the actors Patrick Stewart and Hugh Jackman, even though Hugh Jackman only portrayed part of it. Yeah, I'm talking about the X-Men. They're the focus of today's episode as we take a peek at X-Men Madness in Murderworld.
RetroKork.
The X-Men. The other huge group of superheroes for Marvel. Besides the Avengers. And maybe the Guardians of the Galaxy. Or the Fantastic Four, considering that we've seen them be of a different makeup. Well, but of course there are smaller groups as well. I'm not trying to bash them, but there are other groups as well, especially in the Liefeldian years. As you probably know, the X-Men are all mutants with superpowers, which makes me wonder where the mutants go that have no easily identifiable superpower. Famous members of the X-Men are, and they're also in this game, Cyclops, Colossus, Storm, Nightcrawler, and Snicked Bub Wolverine. There's also Dazzler in the game, but she's a lesser known member of the X-Men. Now, Murderworld is, well, if you know a thing or two about Murderworld, you're probably well aware of Arcade, who is a salesperson who offers his services to high bidders. He's a shadowy person, at least, and he's a villain, okay? He's a villain. And he created a theme park, which is the aforementioned Murderworld, as a collection of death traps, even though he himself is quite aware that they're not entirely foolproof. And that brings us to today's game. Unfortunately, I don't have the comic book that came with the game that leads to the events of the game itself. But basically, Magneto and Arcade are working together to get rid of the X-Men, I believe. And, well, the X-Men are then pitted against the combined forces of the two. So yeah, it doesn't look that easy. The game is controlled via the joystick in port 2, and you need the spacebar to access the rather weird menu at the bottom. Now, the commands within that menu are, in the top row, starting on the left, team status, drop item, use item, load save, and sound. So, sound on or off. You can turn the sound effect on and off. The bottom row consists of choose X-Men out of, out of 6. Cyclops, Colossus, Storm, Nightcrawler, Wolverine, and Dazzler. Your active X-Men. Pick up item. Inventory. Detect evil mutants. And use your current mutant's power. Though the latter seems to be only used when you're not in combat. You usually don't use your power within combat, at least not in that way. Now, of course, I might be wrong about that, but there's nothing in the game itself that suggests otherwise. Now, armed with that knowledge, you head into Murderworld, where keycards are apparently door-specific, and important items can be lost easily. Plus, there's some moon logic when it comes to puzzles, and combat is a nightmare. as you have to press fire and move in a direction at the same time. And since I haven't found the manual yet, it seems like you don't really have that much of a long-range weapon. Now, overall, this game seems to be considered one of the worst games ever, the worst licensed games ever. Like I said, others said so, not me. It's a meh game, but I hope next time the game will be more accessible and less convoluted. One down. Now, the next episode covers a multitude of Marvel Comics themed games, because I'm going to talk about the Quest Pro game series.